This video was brought to you in part by Moment. The idea of this video is pretty damn simple. Let's take the best camera Fujifilm makes in their APS-C lineup and arguably the best camera that they make in their medium format line and put them head to head. Let's ask that simple question. Which of these two is the better camera? And before one of you decides to say apples and oranges, just stop, okay? Please, for the love of all things we've learned in entry-level statistics, please stop. We're gonna do this comparison and we're gonna have a good time. Let's get this started.
But God might be on vacation, and the promised land ain't never promised. My baby telling me to be patient, but the devil always working overnight, my darling.
I don't belong in no place. I cannot evolve, leave all of my demons behind these doors. Wait, my calling for me, calling for now.
We might as well address the elephant in the room. For any comparison I make with this camera now or later, we will start the conversation at 102 megapixels and a medium format sensor, a piece of technology that still manages to surprise you in how much detail it can resolve. When I'm navigating the files from this camera in Capture One, it still catches me off guard in how much I can punch in. I feel like Alice in Wonderland, just tumbling down this rabbit hole of resolution. But it's not just that, it's the image fidelity and tonality you get with the ability to capture 16-bit RAW files at a rather quick pace. And that's really the game changer for the GFX line, especially in a controlled setting. Especially when you're comparing images, on this medium format versus the APS-C sensor, and you have a lot of colors that you're working with. As you're shifting and pulling them, and especially using the curve tool or any color editor of any kind, that gradation between light and dark or one tone and another, you get to appreciate more of that information on the GFX. And even if the lay person may not notice a difference, you as a creator will see it and still value that when you're editing. And unlike the predecessor, the 100S can be operated with one hand. It's still a two-handed experience, but it deserves credit for making that way more comfortable than the original GFX 100. The overall design of this product, preferences aside, is refined where the buttons and dials are kept to the essentials. While this isn't something I'd necessarily appreciate for street photography, it's just damn efficient in the studio, especially with 6 custom profiles that you can access with the new mode dial. Another thing, and admittedly this may not mean as much to most people investing in the GFX 100S, you have the ability to capture ProRes RAW video with an external recorder if you're looking to make this a high-end video solution. And a quick footnote here is I don't think that a lot of people investing in this are looking at it solely as a video solution, but it is kind of cool to have in case you want to do a little bit of both. There's also a higher resolution tilting display that works in a way that photographers will appreciate, and the new film simulation that I think may be the best color profile to date, Nostalgic Negative, which right now is exclusive to the GFX series. Altogether, this is some formidable stuff, but does it all lead to the Fujifilm X-T4 being blown out of the water? Cliffhanger? On paper, this shouldn't even be close, right? The GFX 100S is made by the same people that make the X-T4 and by all metrics seems to produce files that are noticeably better and much more unique. Well, if you look at resolution, depth of field, color depth, the X-T4 shouldn't be able to compete, but it's just not the case because paired with the right lens and good technique, ain't nobody gonna be able to tell the difference on Instagram, okay? For the most part. The Fujifilm X-T4 has a proven sensor and robust features that allow you to create remarkable images that really, in a way, take you as far as your creativity. Now sure, there's a technical ceiling, but again, with the right lens and moving your feet, you can capture a great shot. To take this even further, you can capture at a rate that is much faster, especially when you factor in the size and storage capacity. And let's be honest, this simply works better as a walk-around solution. The X-T4 really shines in how compact it is, where a prime lens on this mount, it feels damn near weightless compared to its heavier cousin. If we bring this analogy over to the video side, even a fully rigged out X-T4 doesn't feel massively heavier than a GFX and a prime lens. I'd even go as far to say as the X-T4 is a better video production tool, given that you can create with a smaller budget, less resources, and even redirect those funds into important peripherals and accessories. Where the GFX 100S looks to come out as the king of commercial, the X-T4 looks to be more of that jack of all trades. Something that has a few highlights, but really shines in its ability to adapt to its environments and never feel out of place. With this camera by my side, I never truly feel like there's much I can't do. It's just a matter of me adjusting technique and being more sound in my execution. I can't say that same thing about the GFX 100S. Awkward pause. That's a camera that definitely crushes in some areas, but in others, especially when things begin to get a bit more dynamic and unpredictable, it starts to lag behind in a clear way. So with all that said, how do the chips fall? This is one of those videos where you read the title and you think it's gonna go one way, and then you realize very quickly the answer was flipped all along. The better camera overall here is the Fujifilm X-T4. Having owned both, there's only one real argument the GFX 100S has to stand on, and that's the high resolution dynamic file that it spits out. However, these cameras share a lot of the unique Fujifilm features, differentiators that they have to offer, and that visual gap that you see between them, you can close that quite convincingly with the right lenses and technique. You have to factor in that the experience overall with an X-T4 paired with the 5612 or 50mm 2.0, well, you just have an imaging experience that feels nearly effortless in comparison to the GFX. To take this even further, think about all the environments where a solution like the Fujifilm X-T4 can feel more comfortable in. Street, travel, nature, wildlife, sports, hell, even f***ing YouTube. The Fujifilm X-T4 still stands as one of the best hybrid mirrorless cameras today. When you factor in that delta in cost especially, a camera like the X-T4 just is a better option for most people on the market. That being said, if you could care less about all these points and assertions and you're simply going after the best damn raw file you can capture, well, why do you think I have one of these things as well? Before I continue, I have to take a minute to thank the good people at Moment who have been supporting my journey for quite some time, and even more so lately. If you don't know about them by now, well, they're the people that made those super dope lenses for your phone, then opened up a full-on camera store online, dropped tons of educational content from your favorite creators, and now are selling presets and LUTs from those creators as well to make your post-production process even easier. What is even more special is that you can hit up their gear guides, these people that are into cameras, and interact with them in real time, asking them your questions and requesting suggestions from them. Over the last few years, I've gotten to know a few people from their team, and they are incredibly passionate about the creative journey. So go ahead, visit shopmoment.com and jumpstart your creativity today. If you made it this far in the video, I truly appreciate it, and I will say, you may have noticed that I've been experimenting with the channel in terms of style and editing. I'm making a lot of content on gear and experiences around them that can, well, in a way, add some value. But more importantly, I'd love to hear what you guys think about the channel, where it's going, and its future in some way. So if you don't mind, take a few seconds, let me know your thoughts in the comments below, because it's greatly appreciated. With all that said, as always, my name's Gajan, and thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.